Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Where we starting, Yee?
Well, let's take it to Brooklyn Center, Minnesota. It's a city in Minnesota where a man was shot by a police officer during a traffic stop. He was actually stopped because he had too many air fresheners on his mirror. And he got back into his car and he was driving away and he crashed several blocks away and he was later pronounced dead. So the family of Daunte Wright is speaking out about what happened. And here is his mother, Katie.
Then I heard the police officer come to the window and say, put the phone down and get out of the car. And Daunte said, why? And he said, well, explain to you when you get out of the car. So I heard the phone get either put on the dashboard or dropped. And I heard scuffling, and I heard the police officer say, Daunte, don't run. And then the other officer said, put the phone down, and hung it up. And then a minute later, I called, and his girlfriend answered, which was the passenger in the car, and said that he'd been shot. And she put it on the driver's side, and my son was laying there, lifeless.
That's so sad, man.
Yeah, it's amazing to me that during the Derek Chauvin trial, officers in Minnesota would still feel emboldened enough to commit these kinds of crimes.
I know, right? Like to pull somebody over because they have air fresheners on their rearview mirror. Like, come on, that is so old school. We used to get pulled over for that when I was a kid, and I used to get harassed for that as a kid. But now you're still they need to change that law. There's a law that you can't have anything hanging off your rearview mirror and your license plate cover. You can't have a license plate cover. You know the chrome thing that goes around your license plate when you get a car, the dealer usually puts on you? Those are illegal. So you should be able to actually sue the dealer for putting that on your plate, really. But you can't have either of those on your car. So if you do have those on your car, just take them off. That's a way to pull you over and check to see what you're doing or what they smell in the car.
And officers, man, this is what happens when you really, truly feel like you don't have to deal with the consequences of your actions. And you know, I don't know why the young man ran, for certain, but I'm almost sure it's because police officers pulled guns on them. And I'm so sick of police officers acting like having a gun in your face is normal. You have a gun in my face and you're giving me directions. And I'm shook because of all the other times I've seen men and women get gunned down by the police. How do you expect me to react normally in this situation?
You asked him why he ran? Did you see the video of the U.S. Army lieutenant driving his car and they spraying him with pepper spray and threw him on the floor and all that? And he did nothing? And they wouldn't even tell him why they pulled him over? Yes.
Well, we can give you that story now. And that is a black Army Lieutenant, Karen Nazario. This happened in December. A patrol car activated its siren and emergency lights behind Karen Nazario. Now, this is a stretch of road that was very dark. It's in west of Norfolk, Virginia. And he didn't want to stop just anywhere safely. So he went maybe about a mile further, pulled over at a gas station that was well lit. And at that point, two officers approached him, guns drawn, yelling at him to get out of the car. He said, what's going on? He was dressed in his uniform, by the way, and kept asking them what's going on. And they said, what's going on is you're fixing to ride the lightning, son. That was the response.
Yeah, how about when he said, I'm scared, and the officer told him, you should be.
You should be.
Like, once again, I'm so sick of police officers acting like having a gun in your face is normal. Let me pull a gun on you and just hold it in your face, and let's see how you react. You got a gun in my face. And you're giving me directions, and I'm shook because of all the other times I've heard of people getting gunned down. I can't hear you over my own fear.
They said take
and I don't know what you're even stopping me for. They're saying he had no tag displayed, that he took a long time to stop, that he had extremely dark window tints, but he had a newly purchased Tahoe. He had two temporary plates inside of his car that were taped to the rear window and on the passenger side. And they knew about the temporary plates, but they still continued to stop him. They pulled their weapons. They detained him. They threatened to murder him. They sprayed him with pepper spray. They searched his vehicle, all of those things.
Once again, man, stop with the fake patriotism, okay? Stop with the fake patriotism. You get mad at Colin Kaepernick when he takes a knee and says that he's, disrespecting the American flag. He's disrespecting America. What's more disrespectful than doing that to somebody who actually went out and protected and served this goddamn country while he was in uniform?
Yes. They said, guns drawn, they tell him to take your seatbelt off. Are you going to reach for your seatbelt with guns in your face?
And they deranked him. You know what I mean? It was like, what are you, some type of... whatever it was, they weren't acknowledging his actual position, which is lieutenant, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he's a lieutenant.
Just imagine the police officers from The Simpsons doing that to the G.I. Joes. How stupid that would look. Okay? Stop with the fake patriotism. No, because that's how it looks.
They did ultimately let him go, but they said that if he said anything, that they would, something would happen with his job. And if there was some type of criminal charges, then that would mean that he wouldn't be able to be in the position as a lieutenant that he is.
Yeah, they got to pass the George Floyd Policing Act. Okay, because these officers really understand that they have no consequences to their actions. Either you're going to have to start taking away these officers' pensions, you know what I mean, or you're going to have to start putting these officers in prison. But until there's consequences and repercussions to their actions, none of this is going to ever change. It's just not.